and welcome to day 2 of Speed Week, presented by Mastercard, coming to you live from Goodwood, which is nestled just on the edge of the Sussex Downs.
Right, it's time for the St Mary's practice session. The Galaxy looked like the most unlikely race car because it was enormous, and yet it was the sort of car that Jack Sears took to the 1963 British Saloon Car Championship title, swatting aside all these pesky little minis as he went.
Oh, somebody just runs a little bit wide on, loses the back end.
It's Wesley Butcher.
Yeah. Pads, but then and you get that extra retardation. Oh, as he gets wrong. Oh
no.
Big crash.
Oh, that's exactly what we were fearful of, I'm afraid to say. The car stranded on the outside of the road. That's Olivier Hart, isn't it? So, Sam, I know you'd rather be in one of these out on track, but even from this vantage point, what an entry. It was under braking whoops, big slide, round it goes. James Cottingham is not quite going to save it, but that was a mighty slide. Thankfully, avoided anything solid. What happened here? Too quick in?
Looked pretty good actually on the way in. Maybe just got a little wide on the exit. It put the right rear wheel, perhaps, or the whole right-hand side of the car beyond the exit curbing. And there's a little bit of a metal grid there as it goes into the grass, and I'd have thought that this morning that might be quite slippery.
Alex Brundle then topping the times in the Gary Pearson shared Jaguar E-type.
What's up, guys? Time to play a little game. I know all petrol heads play this, but I'm back in the supercar paddock and I want to play it with myself today. Dream garages, all right? I'm surrounded by a bunch of very exotic, expensive metal, and the aim is to choose my favorite cars that I would have in my ideal garage, and you got to have all bases covered. So let's start with a family car. Well, now I identified right here is the brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost, and I think this has got to be the one for me because you got to have room for everyone, right? Not only yourself, but your missus maybe, a couple of kids in the back, and you want to be able to ride around in absolute comfort. So is this open? Yeah, look at this, look at this. Just have a look inside. I mean, how lucky would the children be to ride around in that? In the middle of that, you got a champagne fridge, so if you and the missus want to go out on a little date night by yourself, then that's ideal. Curtains too, for extra privacy. So I'd have that. Let's check the price. Have a look. It's not going to be cheap, is it? £301,000, but that is definitely going in my garage. Right, that's the family car covered. Let's move along. Nice all-rounder, the 911 Turbo S, but I don't know. Seen a lot of that. I need something a bit more sporty. Looking at the 765 LT, amazing car on the track. Not so sure about how ideal it would be as a daily. So let's move along to this Ferrari 812 GTS, based on the 812 Superfast. And what's really cool about this is that it's convertible, right? It's got a drop top, which means you can actually get the feeling of the open air rushing over you as you drive. And that's an essential component in my dream garage. You got to have a drop top in there, you know, just to show off, just to stunt. All right, let's look at this price tag. £356,000.
And we're going to go now to the fastest and the noisiest, because this is qualifying for the Whitsun Trophy.
Oh, heavens. Suddenly out of the traffic. Bodywork rips off as the car bounces off into the weeds.
It's not as rigid as a board as our commentator's curse there. Classic.
He's going to come up on traffic on this lap.
Track's nicely rubbered in after a full weekend of activity, so I'd be surprised if we get to that in this session.
The Richmond and Gordon trophies then for front and rear engine 2.5 litre Grand Prix cars that raced between 1954 and 1960. Look at that, look at that, wonderful. Elbow in the air, the other arm out the other side to say to the Lotus 16, you can go past me there, please.
Remember, this is the unique thing about Goodwood. This is one of the few circuits that remains pretty much unchanged since these kind of cars were racing here in period. So when we have the screen isolated with just the cars and the circuit in view, it's the same thing that they would have been looking at all those years ago.
We're in business then. Our Jaguar head-to-head challenge gets underway. Then it's going to be the drag race up towards the line. I think Karun Chandhok's going to get past, but Mitch Evans has caught them. So is this going to be 3 abreast? Let's see. Up to the outside of the XK120 comes Karun Chandhok. Mitch Evans lines up as well. They've all managed to get together. It will, of course, prove which is the quicker car, but a virtual photo finish. The cars now get set for the BMW Motorsport demonstration. There you've got the so-called Batmobile, the 3-litre CSL, Big Mullen's car. They're the 1999 Le Mans winning BMW. Pedro Piquet with his dad's crash helmet there. How about that beautifully restored car, or maintained car, from the BMW Museum. Cars out on track for the RAC TT Celebration. Replay here at number 4 E-type getting so sideways. That's the Gary Pearson but Alex Brundle driven.
Just take it a little bit easy on the car, a little bit easy on the brakes. That means braking a little earlier, a little softer, trailing the brake into the first part of St Mary's. That's where that car is going to need a lot of energetic steering input to keep it on the right trajectory. Nice and flat, nice and straight for braking at something like 150 meters. Fastest sector 2 overall for Lotterer, so he's on a fly, but he's caught traffic. Oh, what a shame! Into the chicane. What a shame.
Almost pushing the Woo 2 Nicolaus Ditting E-type out of the way. The end of the session, and there's the Cobra showing how sideways it can get. Our first race of day 2. Drivers now look towards the flag, which will drop now. Race underway. Who makes the best start? Good getaway by John Milicevic, actually, from the outside of the front row. Michael O'Brien drops back into second place round the outside. Andy Middlehurst is there in second position, but look at it, nose to tail for third as they wriggle through at the end of lap 1.
Very much horsepower, all of that lap time performance, and just getting tied up. Oh, squeezed into the braking zone. Bit of a tank slapper, gathering it all up at first and then not at the end.
He goes to the inside line. He's got the room and he's got the line, and he goes through as Milicevic has to sort out a really vicious slide there. Is this going to be the opportunity for him? No, Andy Middlehurst knows exactly how to defend, and as long as that car has got pace, he's going to use every trick he can to hang on to position.
Huge advantage. Oh, he's right up there, again forcing Middlehurst into the defensive line, into the chicane. That will compromise his exit, but he has a slight power advantage, as we've seen on the previous laps.
But Michael O'Brien is clear in the race lead. Through the chicane, up towards the checkered flag, and a race win will come. Michael O'Brien lifts off, celebrates the race win. He'll be delighted with that, no question.
This is Damon Hill with his father's car, Graham Hill's 1964 BRM at Goodwood. Damon, you're about to drive your father's car. I just heard the mechanics running through some of the details. What's it like?
Well, doesn't it look beautiful? I mean, absolutely looks gorgeous. And I think this is the car that my dad was teammates with Jackie Stewart at BRM. So my dad taught Jackie everything he knew.
Yes, well,
I think Jackie taught my dad a few things as well.
Oh, there's no question about that. And they were just asking about some of the demands that your father had with the gearbox and things. What were they talking about, the mechanics?
Yeah, they just told me that my dad insisted on having the gear change on the left-hand side. So that's how you have it on a right-hand drive car in England, isn't it?
We get set for our 70th anniversary Formula 1 demonstration. There, the Lotus 77, the Gunnar Nielsen car.
I'm amazed, David, at how beefy the 27W08 looks. Damon celebrates his father's achievements, and so it's wonderful to see him in the BRM. And then we're back with the Lotus 49 with its raised rear wing. And there is Sir Jackie.
Our next activity on track is the Tom Walkinshaw Racing Jaguar era, the XJR9 designed by Teddy Southgate. The Jaguars come under the chicane.
Dermot sat in the F-Type, who's about to be the first person to experience the Driftkhana course. I'm wondering how he's feeling. Dermot, you've been in a Spitfire.
I didn't sign up for this. I'm using the throttles and using the rear-wheel drive of this car to slide around the corners.
As you can see, our driver's down in the grid, ready to go. And first up is, of course, the mad monster himself, Steve Baggsy Biaggioni. And then into this, the final sensor pickup. Now, there are 2 sets of proximity sensors. The closer you are, the lights will go off. They won't go off. You can see the lights not flashing. Now, drivers have been told they can go around here as many times as they like to set the lights off, but obviously that will affect your overall time or not. Drift that wide, and there we go. Destroys the outside sensors. Does Manfred Stroll right now. It's nice and close, gets the front one, but absolutely dialed with him on it. Oh, and he takes him out. Oh, Martin Richards now starts to make a mess of the circuit as he looks for the exit. Up next is James Dean in this 2008 BMW E92 Eurofighter. Opted to go for a different route round. So James Dean finishes up his run in spectacular fashion. What is going on inside the car? Martin Richards really working it. Oh, he throws in a 360. Martin Richards going for the complete show score there.
Feel for the Whitsun Trophy, making their way up to the grid. When the flag falls, we go racing. Slow start by Sinclair from the middle of the front row. Lots of tire smoke from John Spears, who leaves 11s on the line. But round the outside, great recovery by John Spears in the McLaren. He goes ahead of the Lola as they round Madgwick Corner for the first time. Whoops, and there's a spin from the leader. It was a spinning qualifying for Thurston, but the leader spins. John Spears off the road. St Mary's a big slide from Sinclair that's going to put him off his stride. Shedden into the back of it. They do touch, and he's done a puncture. The Lola looks as though it may have just gone low on one side. It's off the road, certainly. And drama here in replay, coming down towards Woodcote Corner. That is Justin Mears.
Lost the back end, looped it around, no harm done, and a hell of a recovery actually to get back up to 10th already. He's not afraid to put two wheels on the grass to pull off a move, and very good at it he is too.
It is going to be a Whitsun Trophy win for Mike Whittaker, but Gordon Shedden has driven the wheels off that GT40 behind the car owned by Philip Walker up to the checkered flag then. The Whitsun Trophy won by Mike Whittaker. Gordon Shedden takes second. The shootout is just about ready to go. Ollie Bryant blasts away.
Amazing car, amazing sight and sound as he lights up the rear end.
And the BMW here, Pat Blakeney-Edwards, looked great, very spectacular. The Ford Mach-E. Big lose for Gavin Kershaw. Has he hung on to it? He has. That is the save of the day.
And now coming through the chicane, he did a fastest overall third sector.
Harry King, he's never raced here. He's only done a few laps on Thursday, and now these shootout laps. But the commitment, Sam, is absolutely 100%.
Well, positively drifting out of Ford Water there. A little ride of the inside curve into St Mary's.
It is effectively a qualifying lap, if you like. The fastest you can go around the circuit. Away blasts the ex-Derek Warwick Arrows and accelerates now up through the gears. Away blasts the Arrows again. Period Formula One car. Brilliant noise. Now let's see whether this can go faster than a 1:17.961.
Well, this is the one I've been waiting for. I was absolutely heartbroken to see the car stricken and not participate yesterday. They had fuel vaporization issues, and Padster is fully committed. I didn't hear a lift there, did you, David, on the way down through Ford Water? Rarely have I been quite so jealous of a colleague. This is fantastic stuff. I love the livery on this car. I love this era of Formula One car. The proportions just work. The wide tyres, the wide track, the clean, minimalist aero, no flick-ups. The car's ever so pretty, and this is one of the most memorable with its livery and body shape. Padster absolutely wringing its neck on the run down to Goodwood.
We did the absolute best of anybody thus far in the first sector. Let's see what the lap time is going to be. We'll get the time at the end of the run then. So Nick Padmore twitches the car through Woodcote up towards the chicane. A 1:17.961 is the time to beat, and up towards the line he comes. The lap time, the run we'll get in a moment, but it is the fastest. A 1:09.914. 8 seconds quicker than anybody else.
Wow.
That is insane. The fastest ever lap of anything around Goodwood, with an official clock on it, 69.9 seconds. Nick Padmore has obliterated his own lap record and then some. The St Mary's Trophy, Part 1, 20-minute race. Flag falls, away they go, lots of wheel spin. They go into Madgwick for the first time. Andrew Jordan's up to third at the expense of Nicola Manassi on Mark Blundell there, going around the outside. Number 27 getting all sideways, as Cortinas are what to do.
Them two Cortinas are really sort of bunching each other up a bit more now. So the minis are coming into play, and Shedden coming along in the Jason Stanley car as well after it.
Change for the lead is imminent. Look, Tordoff manages to find Akers up the inside, so his Galaxy takes over the lead. Sam Tordoff
really getting a bit between his teeth now.
And so is Stig Blomqvist. He's back up the inside of Sam Tordoff, goes for the race lead. Sam puts 2 wheels on the grass, and Stig Blomqvist retakes the lead. Lap 6 in this 20-minute race. Mark Blundell right onto the back of Jordan.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah, and that's Turkington.
That was wide.
Coming out of Lavin, a sideways Stig. And that just gifted it to him on the inside, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was. I bet he didn't imagine that was going to happen that easy.
Sam Tordoff with a big slide. It's not looking good for him.
No, it's not looking good, actually. No, he should pull over and that's it. We're done. That's it.
Yeah, it's got all smoky, and quite rightly, Sam Tordoff is going to park the car. Right, so Stig Blomqvist is back into the lead. Finally, by default, Andrew Jordan's up into 3rd place.
Yeah, he's got his podium. There we are.
Into the chicane they come. It's going to be a Blomqvist victory, barring any dramas here. But the 3 leaders together, and here comes Manassion. Pulls up to have a look on the inside up to the line. But out goes the checkered flag for Stig Blomqvist to win part 1 of the St Mary's Trophy.
Driftkhana here at Goodwood SpeedWeek 2020. Vaughan Gittin Jr. throwing in a 360. Oh, and he doesn't pull it off. Cloud of smoke. Vaughan Gittin Jr. barely viewable on the screen. Richard's big handbrake drag there. Very deep into those proximities, as you see, the back bumper all the way along the wall. You can see him on the foot brake, smoking the tyres on the back of the GTR, flames popping from the front bumper. Makes a big flick through, and he's in more on the handbrake there, just disengaging that rear differential, lighting up all 4 wheels as Yates brings it across the line. Nicely done from Rhys Yates. It's super wide, takes out the barriers, does Jules Barkley. Squirrels his way through. Dean gets himself into the wall ride. He timed this and got this absolutely perfect, and he does once again. Onto the foot brake goes Dean. He looks for the exit. Dean hammers down across the start line, and finish line he goes.
Now, I have to say, I'm very lucky right now to be joined in the studio by 2 very special guests. It's none other than the Duke of Richmond and Rowan Atkinson, CBE. Hello, welcome. Great to have you both here. Now, I know it's been a jam-packed day already. Your Grace, how's it been for you today?
Good. No, it's been an excellent second day. Second day has always been a bit of a relief after the first, so I think it's gone really well. We've seen some great racing, and it's been a fabulous day. The weather's held together. We're very happy about it.
That's all you can ask for, really, isn't it? We've had
Absolutely.
some great weather, and that was handy for you, Rowan, because you've just joined us fresh from the St Mary's Trophy.
Yes.
How was that?
It was great, yes. I mean, I was, pootling along towards the back and quite enjoying myself. It was very, very good, actually. Great car, this amazing sky blue Plymouth Barracuda with a 5.4 litre V8, a classic sort of V8 pony car, would it be? Yeah.
There it is.
Two-door American thing, and I love the colour. I like the whole thing about it. It's a really sweet, good-natured car. Slightly heavy, but that's fine. The good thing about a heavy car is that it's slightly more predictable. So I know it was a great racing companion.
Our Michelin supercar run, and at first glance,
the McLaren GT3.
This is a McLaren P1, but P1 GTR, Ford Mustang Mach-E, 1400.
Yeah, 1400 brake horsepower, isn't it?
a quick look at a Gen 2 Formula E car. This the Team Envision Virgin car. Karun Chandhok at the wheel of it.
In April this year, motor racing lost one of its most legendary and iconic figures, Sir Stirling Moss. So this weekend at SpeedWeek, Goodwood pays tribute to a true hero of the sport.
Stirling, Crawford, Moss. To the world at large, he was simply Stirling, or Mr. Motor Racing. To us, he will forever be Mr. Goodwood. We miss you, Stirling, and we will remember you. We will remember you always.
The final race of day 2 of the Goodwood SpeedWeek. Stirling Moss Memorial Trophy is go. The flag falls as they dive down towards Madrick for the first time. It is going to be Gary Pearson that leads the way. On board with Mark Gordon. So Gary Pearson it is then who leads the way with Harvey Stanley. Still got the pace to stay on the tail, and then Dyke to the outside of Gary Pearson. Wasn't really the room on the outside line. That would have been a brave effort. The Lotus in lead. Gary goes to the inside, hits the Lotus and hits the Ferrari. Oh, big damage to the E-type. That fires David Clark off the road. Green flag waved. We are back racing then. Third place then, number 1, which is now Marino Franchitti. James sits patiently, gets the thumbs up. He's down to half a second. Another back marker. They've got the traffic and they've got the fading light to contend with as around Madrick they go. So Rob Huff, knowing that he's running out of time in the race. Rob dives up the inside. Cottingham has got through. Huff gets through as well. It's going to be a drag to the line, but James Cottingham has just done enough, has he? Yes, he has. It is going to be a Stirling Moss Memorial Trophy win for James Cottingham and Harvey Stanley ahead of Rob Huff and Richard Mines. What a battle.